great fight. Munguia is a tremendous fighter. He's an all-action fighter. So is John. The confidence that he would have gained in the Canelo Alvarez fight, I think, will really help him. It is a 50-50 fight. John's away from home. I think he's going to win the fight, but it's a real good fight that to kickstart January. And you've got that, and then you've got Conor Benn the next week in Vegas, so it's going to be a busy couple of weeks in America.
No, good fight. I rate Jaime Munguia, but like I say, John Ryder's performance against Canelo was very brave, and whether he can dig into the well again and cause the upset, maybe he can do. Munguia's a good fighter. Liam Smith had a really good fight with him. He's getting bigger and bigger, but that's a live fight. I wouldn't be surprised to wake up in the morning and see John Ryder's nicked a points decision there. But at the same token, I wouldn't be surprised Jaime Munguia just shows his class. He isn't somebody, he's got a bit of longer arms, punches. He's not the biggest puncher, but I do feel John Ryder could get to him and drag him at the trenches, but I think it'll be a close decision either way.
I'd give him a good chance, yeah. I'd give him a good chance. People are making Munguia the favourite, and I think that's mainly based on the fact that over there, at least, he's a bigger name, although Ryder, off the back of the Canelo fight, I think he won a lot of admirers. But I make that a close fight. I think John's definitely capable of doing it. I would love to see him do it. I've followed his career, covered his career from the early stages, and he's worked tremendously hard. Came very close against Callum Smith, so I was really pleased to see him get that Canelo fight, to earn that Canelo fight and make the money that would have come with it, because, he's grafted and grafted and grafted. And I think this is a really good fight for him. I think it should be a really good fight to watch as well.
And that's crept up really quickly. I can't believe it's next weekend. Really good fight. Listen, John Ryder, I think he's another one that's just grown as, the harder the fights, the setbacks or whatever, he's grown as a fighter. The experience made him a better fighter. Munguia's very good, heavy-handed, exciting, but he's beatable. He looks beatable. He makes a lot of faults. I don't know, it's a tough fight, but the Ryder, I hope that the Canelo fight didn't take a lot out of Ryder, because he took a lot of punishment in that. If it didn't take a lot out of him, then I think he's got a great chance of pulling off the upset.
We hope he does, but again, it's a case of what he's got left. John Ryder is so underrated, but it's a case of opportunity coming at the right time, and has it come too late?
I think it's a good fight, especially at this stage in both careers. Ryder's coming off the back of good performances. Canelo, Daniel Jacobs and stuff. Munguia, it's just, what I like Munguia, I know I've boxed him, but I just like the way he just no fucks given really. Doesn't hold back, throws 1,000 punches. I think it's a good fight at both stages of career. Is Munguia really a 168? Be interesting to see. Ryder's tough enough. I just think if John can go with Munguia and throw more punches, we all know Ryder's solid enough. He's got a good enough chin. It'd be hard for Munguia to budge him, but Munguia can throw enough punches to maybe get to John. I just think if John can up his output a little bit more, he's got a massive chance.
Oh man, it's going to be a good fight. John Ryder gave Canelo a very good fight. I was there in Guadalajara, Mexico, and Munguia should not underestimate Ryder. It's going to be a good fight, a crowd-pleasing fight. Arizona, and all the Mexican fans, I'm sure, are going to show up and support Munguia. But it should be, after fighting Canelo in Mexico, you know what I mean? It's just exactly. So it should be a good fight for sure.
I haven't really paid much attention to it, to be fair. I'm not being disrespectful to either fighter. Good fighters. John Ryder's always seemed a nice lad, to be honest with you. He's always come across a nice lad every time I've met him and seen him. I wish him all the best in that. I'd like to see him do it. Obviously, I'm back the Brit in that fight, but I think Munguia is a bit different and a little bit special sometimes on his day. But it's whether he's on his day, and he's had a few off nights. He's had a few where he's looked really well. He's tough to beat. He's strong. He's really strong and huge for the weight. I'll probably have to side with Munguia in that one, from what I've seen over the previous fights that they've had. But as I say, I'd love to see Ryder do. He's a nice lad.
Yeah, Munguia's a good fighter. He's a Mexican fighter. He's unbeaten. I think he's like 42-0 or something. And obviously, he's a former world champion at 154. he's moving up to 168 really for the first time. He boxed obviously Derevchenko at 168, but we know that Derevchenko ain't really a 168 fighter, and so he's fighting up at 168 for the first time against a proper super middle in John Ryder, who's immensely strong at that weight. And yeah, you know, John feels like Meninga ain't really boxed anybody of note or of anyone of great experience. So apart from obviously Liam Smith at 154, so you know, John fancies the fight, and obviously John's going into his backyard in Phoenix and onto a Golden Boy show, so obviously the odds are stacked against him. But John's in, you know, getting himself in great condition physically, and he's always mentally switched on. So you know, he's confident of winning the fight.
Yeah, I like to think so. I think listen, he was a great 154 fighter. He had a very short time at 160 and like whittling between the two, 160 and 168. So I think it's a good time for me to get him. I think I'm strong, established, and well at 168. I feel like some of my career best performances have come at this weight, and I plan on doing the same Jan 27th.